but this camera is a triple camera setup, 48 megapixel wide angle lens, 16 megapixel ultra wide sensor, then a 2 megapixel macro lens. Now, I do think this camera really isn't even that bad. I think it's a pretty solid camera for sure, but the problem is that the front camera, and I'll get into the front camera in a second. Now, I'm glad it has that, wide angle lens and ultra wide sensor. I do wish it had a telephoto lens, but it's okay. We have that macro lens, which really doesn't even do anything super crazy, to be honest, at least in the day-to-day use case that I use it. But that wide angle lens is actually not bad. You can do 4K at 60. You have features built into the camera which are actually pretty good as well. And I think for sure the camera itself is actually pretty decent. It definitely is not the best camera of 2020. I would 100% give that to the S20 Ultra, but I think this camera, for it not necessarily being like a camera focused phone, is actually a solid lens. Now, it's not my favorite camera. I think I would rate it below an 11 Pro, but I do think it's still a pretty decent thing. If you want to go ahead and take, quick photos or videos, you're probably going to have still a tremendous experience. I don't think that ultra wide sensor is that amazing, but again, the wide angle lens pretty much makes up for it. The front, on the other hand, with that 16 megapixel wide angle lens, this is the biggest problem. Only 1080p on this specific lens, and that is something that's very annoying. This thing came on in 2020, and that's the same year that the iPhone 12s all had 4K at 60 on the front. So I love how OnePlus is, mentioning and talking a ton about their, back of their camera and the Hasselblad, collaboration and stuff. But if that front camera, they have not made any mention of the front camera. If that front camera is still 1080p, if it's not 4K at 60, in my head, that's going to be a total L for the camera. A lot of people are complaining about the, back camera, but a lot more people are complaining about the front camera, in my opinion. I think that's a bigger deal. So I guess we'll see what happens, but hopefully OnePlus can make some improvement there. But in terms of the camera, that's pretty much how I see it for this specific device.